Stephanie Vane, I have a books. I'm a book nerd. There's so many books. Hello everyone, Stephanie here. Today's video is going to be my book review on Glittering Court by Richelle Mead. This story is about a girl named Adelaide who's a countess, and well, her name is actually Elizabeth, but we're calling her Adelaide because she was Adelaide for most of the story. And she runs off to the Glittering Court to escape her life, and her life begins in the Glittering Court, and the Glittering Court is where they take impoverished women, younger, gorgeous, but you know, of lower class in their society, and they take them to the Glittering Court, a school. They do them up, make them all fancy, they learn a bunch of stuff for a year, and then they take them across the ocean to Adoria, out of Oxford to Adoria, and then, you know, they like sell them to rich husbands who need wives. Okay, what can I say for the non-spoilery section? I wish you could see it from there. Well, you can see a bit of it. First off, I loved the writing. I loved the pacing of the writing. I loved the actual, just like, writing itself. The wording, everything was so descriptive. I could literally see everything in my head. It just would have been a lot better when it comes to placing things places. If we would have had a map in here. Could you give us a map in the next book? I'd greatly appreciate that, Richelle Mead. But I loved the writing. Like, that's the first thing I noticed. I've never read a Richelle Mead before. I haven't read Vampire Academy. I haven't read anything else other than Glittering Court. I devoured it. First off, this book is extremely fast-paced. Even when it's slightly slower, it is still fast-paced because she cuts out all the crap you don't need. Like, I love it because even Pierce Brown does that. If you don't need to see something, why drag it on when we could just get to the point and keep going, so that way you don't put these fillers in books. And I know a lot of authors that do that. We still get to the point. We see everything we need to see, and the story is it's not anything more and it's nothing less, but it feels like more because of the fact that you gave us less. Does that make sense? Like, I loved that. I love that she didn't waste time. She didn't waste paper or words on things that didn't need to be discussed, things that just like, okay, you get the idea of it type thing. I enjoyed it. I felt like I had no issue imagining the world again, just the placing of things. And I feel like in a world like this, I wasn't expecting it to be so like fantastical in a way. There's not like magic or anything, but I was just like, I wasn't expecting it to be like this whole new world in a way. I mean, it's very similar to like old days here, but you know, it's Oxford, the main town, Adoria, the new world, and there's the quarry, and there's all these things and these people, and I think it's amazing and it's stunning. And I loved Adelaide. I thought she was an amazing main character. I love the friendship that there is in this book between the girls. I think it's a beautiful friendship. There's moments where my heart aches, and then there's moments where I get all like, oh, swoon worthy. The romance in here is top notch romance. Like, probably, like, I ship so hardcore. I love it. It's perfect, and I just, like, I highly recommend it. It's just really good, and it's fun, and it's all about gowns and being like, you know, it's just beautiful, and it's just so good. The villain in this is such an ass, but I also, like, I loved how horrible he was. You know, honestly, it sounds weird, but I feel like this would be a great book for people who love Outlander, but you're scared to go into Outlander. No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with Outlander. I'm not saying it does, but something about this, I feel like Outlander readers would really enjoy it. Maybe it's just me, but it's something about the adventure that goes on through this book that I feel like you can kind of, you know, you get the same like vibes from it, and I would really highly recommend it. If you guys read it and you don't like it and you're Outlander fans, I'm sorry, I could just be wrong, but now that I'm talking about it and thinking about it and really just like dissecting it in my mind, I feel like if you're an Outlander lover, you might really enjoy this. But that is all I can say for the non-spoilery section. So if you haven't read it, go when you can, and then comment down below what you think of it. But goodbye, non-spoilery people, and hello spoilery people. This section is never that long, but there's just a couple of things I really wanted to talk about. First off, I really do feel like a map would have helped. Would a map would have helped you? Like, would it have helped you? I think it would have helped me, because I was like imagining how like everything was placed in the oceans they were crossing when they were on the ship and just all this stuff, and I was just like, I can see it, but I can't like place it. That was my problem. Like, I had no problem visualizing the glittering court, like when they were at the manor and all this stuff, or when she was leaving and they were riding and like trying to sneak her out as Adelaide. I had no problem visualizing like the environment. I had a huge issue though in like envisioning where everything freaking went. That was my big problem, and I was really curious. Totally random, and I'm not going in any order. There was a part where I want to say it was the Corey, I don't know how you said that, and they're like in plaid and tartan, and I was just like, are they supposed to be like Scottish equivalent? Like, that's cool if they are. I could be wrong. But I have to say, first foremost, the love in this. It's kind of obvious that it was going to be between Cedric and Adelaide / Elizabeth. And it was. And it was not disappointing that I kind of saw that, because I love that it blossomed. Like, when was their first kiss? 100 and something pages in? Like, dude, seriously, thank you. Thank you that it wasn't 50 pages in. I can't stand that. I don't like insta love. Or even if there's insta love and you kind of like, no, oh my god, I really like them. I like it when they don't start immediately saying, oh my god, I love you. No. She spent how many months with this man? Like, seeing him every day, even if it was just a little bit in and out, checking on the girls, or once a week, you know, she saw him, she became accustomed to him. And like Cedric just sounds like someone you would like fall in love with. Like, I fell in love with him. I really did. And I just love their romance. I thought it was just like perfect. It was literally perfect. Like, I have no complaints. I love how the slow progress of it was. I love how it was developed and how it flourished, and then all of a sudden all these things start happening. I was just like, yes. And that's the part that reminds me of Outlander, like how they get married, and it's kind of quick, and even though they already love each other, it's just how she's willing to do anything for him, and how she went out there to the freaking Haddison or whatever the place was called for the gold mining. Warren is a scumbag, but oh, he was such a horribly amazing villain. I love that. And I just also, another thing I loved is Tamsin and Mira. Mira, I'm really curious about, and Tamsin too. And I'm pretty sure, like, I am pretty sure the next 2 books, one of them's going to be about Tamsin, the other one's going to be about Mira. And if it is like that, I have no complaints. None whatsoever. I want to know what I'm pretty sure it's debt, but she asked her, and Ada, like, you know, Elizabeth, signed over her trust to Tamsin to like pay a debt. That part I was curious, because obviously Richelle like left that the ending between, you know, Mira and Tamsin, their issues very vague, and I'm just like, ooh, so what's gonna happen there? Like, Tamsin, what did you ask her? Like, obviously it was something she felt ashamed to ask, but it had to do with her family, because she's been trying to get money for her family this whole time, which I loved about her. I love that she wrote letters all the time, but I was just so curious, like, what debt? Is it some, like, you know, I hope it follows the 2 girls after that, and I love their friendship. I understand why it was so hard for Ada at the time. It was Ada. I get confused between the two. I'm mostly gonna call her Adelaide, because that's what she was. She was Adelaide for most of the book. So Adelaide, when she decided, F it, that I need to score good so I can get Cedric, and I understand that he was a freaking heretic. I feel like saying heretic. Oh, that is it, right? Heretic. Hi, I just thought about that. Vampire Diaries. Heretics. I'm so slow. It's okay. I have my moments. But, like, I understand that she wanted to help him so she can get him into that new community. West Haven. God, I'm horrible with names, and I don't write names down when I make notes either. I like people names, but not like place names. I should start doing that. But anyway, trying to, like, you know, get him so he can get money to put his stake there, and that way he can, like, you know, practice religious freedom, which is something I loved about it. I didn't want to mention that in the non-spoilery section, because I want that, like, religious thing to just kind of be, like, randomly, like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But I love the weight of it. I'm not a particularly a religious person, but I loved just like how the whole religion thing played out. I thought was epic, and I thought it was really done with like taste, and just like A plus plus, dude. A plus plus. How she wrote it out, the scenarios she did it with the new town, and how it's all about accepting people for who they are. I was just like, yes, love it. Amazing. But let's go back. Now, Mira. We don't know anything about Mira except that at the end, Homegirl was able to freaking shoot a bow and arrow. Like, what? I was not expecting that. I was just like, dude. I was also Warren. I knew he was scummy. Like, I had a feeling about him. Like, when he was like pressuring Adelaide at the time to like get married with him and stuff, I was just like, oh, you seem like a mama's boy, and mama's boys are douches because they think that you should do this for them, you should do that for them, you know, that type of thing, and he gets everything he wants. You know, it's so funny. I pretty much imagined him, and I think it's a great description. If you've seen American Horror Story Season 4, The Freak Show, that douche guy that ends up helping the clown guy, and then he's a killer, and his mom's like really rich, and he gets everything he wants. That's who I imagined in my head as Warren, and I'm gonna tell you, I think that was a perfect, Stephanie. Good job. That was actually a really good job. But I thought that was just like, he was messed up, and then like Tamsin, the whole thing that she figured out that he was pretty much trying to like start war everywhere. I was just like, what? I didn't think he was that smart. Well, obviously he wasn't. He got caught by Tamsin. I'm not saying Tamsin's dumb by any means, but like, he got caught by someone who's spending only a minuscule amount of time with you, but she got caught, so you're not that smart. But like, what was, like, he was just fucking crazy because he won a new king and all this. Oh my god, oh my god. But I was not expecting that. And I had a feeling too, though, when he sent and he was like, oh, it's okay, that's Cedric, I'll give him one of my claims, and you know, I take some of the money if he finds gold, but the rest is his. He wanted to kill him. Kill him. And that's when I knew I had imagined the right person as him, because he wanted something and he couldn't get it. There's so many things to talk about, but those are like the things that I love the most. I can't wait to see where it goes. I honestly can't wait to reread it. Like, it was just so much fun and so good, and I really enjoyed it. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, but now I can say I loved the time jump. I thought they made perfect sense. It made no sense why it's like, why show her this whole time at school learning things she already knows, when you could skip it, fast forward, show like the really important things, like, you know, when she was bleaching her asparagus instead of blanching them. That was funny. And then like doing all that stuff and fucking up like that. I thought that was cute and it was good. And it showed little snippets, but it would just kind of, you know, fast forward a little. You don't need to see every single thing because we have a story to tell. We got to get it, move on. And I really love that. I felt like it did not take away from the story, but it added to the story because Richelle Mead was able to get to where she needed to go without making the book too long, or without needing to drag it on to another book or so on and so forth. That's what I really did enjoy. But again, okay, I could talk about it forever, but I feel like I touched on like the things I really like. You guys let me know what you really hated about the book if you didn't like it too much, or what you really loved about the book if you loved it, or, you know, what your general opinions were. If it's spoilery, you know, don't leave too crazy of details down before, or at least like before you do a spoiler, just let someone know, hey, spoiler, don't read my comment, and then go ahead and write it, because you're giving someone a warning. If they read it anyway, that's their fault. But yes, just let me know what you guys think of the book down below. I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for the second book. So excited. So excited. Okay, I need to go now, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!